Hello and welcome to our episode today that deals with multimedia. Our subject expert is Ashish Garg and I am Ramesh Menon. Multimedia is a fascinating subject, as you will see very soon. Many years ago, when we needed information on anything, we had to check up various resources. But today, we have very easy access to information. Just by sitting at your desk and surfing the internet, you can explore almost everything in the world that you want. It's all because of multimedia. Multimedia has become an interesting career choice of youngsters. One of the reasons is that there is a rapid increase of multimedia professionals. Today, we are going to discuss what multimedia is and what it means for all of us in the future. Multimedia. As the name implies, multimedia is the integration of various and multiple forms of media. This includes text, graphics, audio and video. For example, a presentation involving audio and video clips would be considered a multimedia presentation.
Just Grandma and Me by Mercer Mayer. Hi, I'm Little Critter. Welcome to Living Books. To have the story read to you, press this button. To play inside the story, press this button.
Educational software that involves animations, sound and text is called multimedia software. CDs and DVDs are often considered to be multimedia formats since they can store a lot of data and most forms of multimedia require a lot of disk space. Due to the advancements in computer speeds and storage space, multimedia is commonplace today. Therefore, the term does not produce the same excitement as it once did. This also means that it is not as overused as it was back in the late 90s. Thank goodness. History of the term. The word or the term multimedia was coined by Bob Goldstein to promote the July 1966 opening of his Lightworks at L'Orsine show at Southampton, Long Island. On August 10, 1966, Richard Albarino of Variety borrowed the terminology, reporting, brainchild of the conscript comic Bob Washington Square. Goldstein, the Lightworks is the latest multimedia music cum visuals to debut at Discotheque Fair. 2 years later, in 1968, the term multimedia was reappropriated to describe the work of a political consultant, David Sawyer, the husband of Iris Sawyer, one of Goldstein's producers at L'Orsine. Basically, multimedia is recorded and played, displayed or accessed by information content, processing devices such as computerized and electronic devices, but can also be part of a live performance. Multimedia also describes electronic media devices used to store and experience multimedia content. Multimedia is distinguished from mixed media in fine art by including audio, categorization of multimedia. We may broadly divide multimedia to linear and non-linear categories. Linear active content progresses without any navigational control for the viewer, such as a cinema presentation. Non-linear content offers user interactivity to control progress as used with a computer game or used in self-paced computer-based training. Hypermedia is an example of non-linear content. Multimedia presentations can be live or recorded. A recorded presentation may allow interactivity via a navigation system. A live multimedia presentation may allow interactivity via an interaction with the presenter or performer. Multimedia is a combination of text, art, sound, animation and video. It is delivered to the user by electronic or digitally manipulated means. A multimedia project development or a website requires creative, technical, organizational and business skills. Keys to successful development of a multimedia project are management of digital tools and skill sets, teamwork, general project management, documenting and archiving the process, delivering the completed product on time and within budget. Multimedia is woven combination of digital manipulated text, photographs, graphic art, sound, animation and video elements. Multimedia becomes interactive media when a user is given the option of controlling the elements. Interactive multimedia is called hypermedia when a user is provided a structure of linked elements for navigation. Multimedia developers develop multimedia projects. The software vehicle, the messages and the content together constitute a multimedia project. A multimedia project shipped to end users with or without instructions is called a multimedia title. A project can also be launched on the World Wide Web, which is more commonly known as WWW, where you can weave the elements of multimedia into the document with HTML, which is known as Hypertext Markup Language, or DHTML, Dynamic HTML. Authoring tools are used to merge multimedia elements into a project like Macromedia Director, Authorware and ULID Media Studio. These software tools are designed to manage individual multimedia elements and provide user interaction. The sum of what gets played back and how it is presented to the viewer on a monitor is the graphic user interface GUI. The hardware and software that govern the limits of what can happen are the multimedia platform or environment. The primary media for delivering multimedia projects are compact disc read only CD-ROM, red laser, 640 MB, digital versatile disc DVD, blue laser, 4.7 GB, 8.5 GB, 9.4 GB, 17 GB. CD-ROM is the most cost effective distribution medium for multimedia projects. It can contain up to 80 minutes of full screen video or sound. CD burners are used for reading discs and converting the disc to audio, video and data formats. Multi-layer DVD technology increases the capacity of current optical technology to 18 GB. DVD authoring and integration software is used to create interactive front-end menus for films and games. DVD burners are used for reading discs and converting the disc to audio, video and data formats. Telecommunication networks are global and information elements and will link up online as distributed resources on a data highway. Copper wire, glass fiber and radio cellular technologies also serve as a means for delivering multimedia files across a network. Examples: full text content from books and magazines, street maps of any city, feature movies are displayed at home, real-time news reported from anywhere on earth, lectures from participating universities. Applications of multimedia. Business. Business applications for multimedia include presentations, training, marketing, advertising, product demos, databases, catalogs, instant messaging and network communication. Schools educational software can be developed to enrich the learning process. Home. Most multimedia projects reach homes via television sets or monitors with built-in user inputs. Public places. Multimedia will become available at standalone terminals or kiosks to provide information and help. Multimedia advantages: engrossing, deep involvement, multisensory, creates knowledge connections, individualized teacher and student creation, multimedia disadvantages: lost in cyberspace, lack of structure, non-interactive if one way, no feedback, text intensive content, complex to create, time consuming, cognitive overload. Industry using multimedia. For a business presentation, we can use the multimedia to create a PowerPoint presentation. Corporate presentations may combine all forms of media content. Virtual reality uses multimedia content. Applications and delivery platforms of multimedia are virtually limitless. Multimedia finds its application in various areas, including but not limited to advertisements, art, education, entertainment, engineering, medicine, mathematics, business, scientific research and spatial temporal applications. Here are some examples. Creative industries. Creative industries use multimedia for a variety of purposes ranging from fine arts to entertainment, to commercial art, to journalism, to media and software services provided for any of the industries listed below. An individual multimedia designer may cover the spectrum throughout their career. Requests for their skills range from technical to analytical to creative.
There it is. Welcome to Jurassic Park.
We've made living biological attractions so astounding that they'll capture the imagination of the entire planet.
The most phenomenal discovery of our time.
How'd you do this?
Becomes the greatest adventure of all time.
Can I touch it?
Sure.
Universal Pictures presents
You feel that?
Hold on to your butts.
a Steven Spielberg film.
Fences are failing all over the park.
Yeah, that's nice. Gotta go.
I can't get Jurassic Park back online.
65 million years in the making. Jurassic Park.
Much of the electronic old and new media used by commercial artists is multimedia. Exciting presentations are used to grab and keep attention in advertising. Business to business and inter-office communications are often developed by creative services firms for advanced multimedia presentations beyond simple slide shows to sell ideas or liven up training. Commercial multimedia developers may be hired to design for governmental services and non-profit services applications as well. In addition, multimedia is heavily used in the entertainment industry, especially to develop special effects in movies and animations. Multimedia games are a popular pastime and are software programs that are available either as CD-ROMs or online. Some video games are also use multimedia features. Multimedia applications that allow users to actively participate instead of just sitting by as passive recipients of information are called interactive multimedia. In the arts, there are multimedia artists whose minds are able to blend techniques using different media that in some incorporates interaction with the viewer. One of the most relevant could be Peter Greenaway, who is integrating cinema with opera and all sorts of digital media.
Into which Rembrandt has scrupulously painted an indictment of guilt in paint.
And I want 9 months, human gestation period. If it takes that long to make a baby, it will certainly take that long to make a painted arm.
Hey!
My husband was certain that everyone in the painting stands accused.
It is imperative that we reopen the case.
Another approach entails the creation of multimedia that can be displayed in a traditional fine arts arena such as an art gallery. Although multimedia display material may be volatile, the strength of the content is as strong as any traditional media. Digital recording material may be just as durable and infinitely reproducible with perfect copies every time. Education. Education at school has today dramatically changed with the introduction of multimedia to produce computer based training courses, popularly called CBTs, and reference books like encyclopedia and almanacs. A CBT lets the user go through a series of presentations, text about a particular topic and associated illustrations in various information formats. Edutainment is an informal term used to describe combining education with entertainment, especially multimedia entertainment. It is popularly known as e-learning.
The major excretory organ of mammals is the kidney. Humans have two kidneys located in the upper rear region of the abdominal cavity. The urine they produce, the internal structure of the kidney includes an outer cortex and an inner medulla. The ureter divides into branches, the ends of which envelop medullary tissues called renal pyramids. The actual work of the kidney is carried out by functional units called nephrons. Each human kidney contains about 1 million nephrons. Each nephron consists of vascular and tubule components. An afferent arteriole carries blood to a knot of capillaries called the glomerulus. Draining each glomerulus is an efferent arteriole that gives rise to the paratubular capillary. Convoluted tubule of each nephron are located in the cortex. From the proximal convoluted tubule, the nephron tubule turns down into the medulla. The portion of the tubule in the medulla convoluted tubule. The distal convoluted tubules of many nephrons join a common collecting duct in the cortex. The collecting ducts then run in parallel with the loops of Henle down through the medulla and empty into the ureter at the tips of the renal pyramids. A few paratubular capillaries run into the medulla in parallel with the loop of Henle and the collecting duct and form the vasa recta urine by a combination of filtration, secretion, and reabsorption. Viewed schematically, we will see how these processes are facilitated by the regular arrangement of segments of the nephron. The proximal
Learning theory in the past decade has expanded dramatically because of the introduction of multimedia. Several lines of research have evolved. Example, cognitive load, multimedia learning, and the list goes on. The possibilities for learning and instruction are nearly endless. The idea of media convergence is also becoming a major factor in education, particularly higher education. Defined as separate technologies such as voice and telephony features, data and productivity applications, and video that now share resources and interact with each other synergistically, creating new efficiencies. Media convergence is rapidly changing the curriculum in universities all over the world. Likewise, it is changing the availability or lack thereof of jobs requiring this savvy technical skill. Journalism. Newspaper companies all over are also trying to embrace the new phenomenon by implementing its practices in their work. While some have been slow to come around, other major newspapers like the New York Times, USA Today, and the Washington Post are setting the precedent for positioning of the newspaper industry in a globalized world. News reporting is not limited to traditional media outlets. Freelance journalists can make use of different new media to produce multimedia pieces for their news stories. It engages global audiences and tells stories with technology, which develops new communication techniques for both media producers and consumers. Common Language Project is an example of this type of multimedia journalism production. Engineering. Software engineers may use multimedia in computer simulations for anything from entertainment to training, such as military or industrial training. Multimedia for software interfaces are often done as collaboration between creative professionals and software engineers. Summary. In this episode, we learnt about multimedia and the professional scope it has. Today, students can go for a career in graphics design, website design, print media, creating e-learning content and many others. Today, we learned about the following topics. The primary media for delivering multimedia projects are applications of multimedia, multimedia advantages, multimedia disadvantages, usage of multimedia, different fields using multimedia. That's all we have for you today. Hope you enjoyed the lecture. Thank you and take care.